Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Tonight I'll be going over my November card class in the mail. This class is available on my backyardstamper.com webpage, and it's $24.95, and that includes the shipping. And you will get absolutely everything except sentiments and adhesive to make the three cards that I'm going to show you tonight. And so with the shipping being around $6, that means it's a $19 class, and I've done everything ahead for you. So tonight I'm going to put the cards together and also offer some tips and tricks about how I did a few of the steps for you so that when you reproduce them, you will know all the secret tips. This class can also be earned for free with a $60 product purchase uh, from my Stampin' Up store, kathyschmidt.stampinup.net. And that $60 is before shipping and after any discounts. So it has to be the $60 of product. So let's get started. And hopefully, if you have any questions, pop them in the chat. And hopefully it all makes sense as we go along. All right, let me switch the camera down. There we go. So I put my lights a little bit brighter because last week it seemed really dark. So these are the three cards for November's class. Let me know if that's too bright. It looks a little bright on my side, but you never know. Let's check what it looks like on my phone here. Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay. Right, and then the last one. A lot of gold, so it's a lot of shimmer tonight. And I did the envelopes, so this envelope goes with this one. This envelope will go with that one, and this envelope goes with this one. I didn't show you the inside for this one. There you go. So let's get started, and we will put these cards together, and I will show you all of my tips and tricks. So we'll start with this one, and when you get your card kits in the mail, they will come in a medium white envelope, and everything that you need is inside the envelope. So let me just grab my dauber here, put it over here. This morning it fell on the floor. Now, of course, I can't find it. Oh, why, oh, why does this happen? All right, that's some old daubers, but that'll be fine. Let's grab one that has green. Okay, I think that'll do. Okay, so sorry about that. Hey, Cindy. Hi, Ann. Glad you guys could stop by. And I know my mom is here. Hi, Mom. Okay, so that's my envelope. I'm gonna put that aside. Here's my sample. I'm gonna push that up. Is the lighting okay, everyone? Alrighty. So this card here is on thick basic white. And let me just adjust that because it does seem like it's super bright. Hold on one second here. I have to go into a different screen. And maybe 200 times bright is too much, huh? Oh, and I love it. I don't know if I want you watching me on a 50-inch TV screen, but Okay, so this will come on a 8.5 by 5.5 um, thick basic white, and it is scored. I was writing up my tutorial last night, so I had to think. So this is, sorry, this is not 8.5. This is 8 and, okay, this is, I think this is going to be one of those nights. It's 8 and 3/16. 8 and 3/16. So basically 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5/16 shorter than um, the 8.5. And that's because we're going to layer it on here. Now this is 5.5 by 4.25. So we need that when it's shut to layer so that you see the red or cherry cobbler all the way around. So that's why this piece is a little bit shorter. Okay. Narrower. All right. And then what I did was I scored it for you and it at 2 1/8. Oh yeah. So 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. Okay. So this is where it gets cut off. So essentially, if I cut it at 8.5 by 11, then did my scoring, I would just zip off this edge. That's the easiest way to do it. So then I put it in to the embossing machine using the Christmas Greenery 3D embossing folder. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, and so, and it's 6 by 6, so it's this big. Let me see if I have that right here. As I okay, so here's my Christmas greenery. So I just put it in and let it go right over my score lines right across. So this is my inside piece and this is my outside, and we're gonna make a Z fold with that. All right, so the other parts of this are you get some gems. You've got 2 circles cut out from the stylish shapes and a bow, which you will build. Or actually, I probably will build because this little piece will get lost. So it's this piece. I didn't even tell you what we're using. So let me start over again. Okay. So what we are using to make this month's cards in the mail is the Traditions of Christmas suite. This suite consisted of 2 stamp sets and 2 bundles. So we're using the greenery on some of the cards and the sentiments on some of the cards. And then I added in extras like the label and stuff. So one of the dies is this bow die. And so when you punch that out, you get 3 pieces. You got the bow part, the tails, and then the little knot. So um, it's just like a little dab of glue helps hold those all together. So I'm going to leave my dies out so I can show you what other dies we used. It's just a hitchhiker. The other part of this suite that we're using is the paper, the Traditions of Christmas 12 by 12 paper. This is so gorgeous. Um, we're going to, the dies can cut out some of the images from the paper. So like this one, I cut this whole sheet out, even these extra pieces down here on the end, because you can put those inside. It doesn't matter if it's half of a flower, they can be coming in from the side. So, and then the back side, this beautiful poinsettia one. This is one we're also going to use. And that one is die cut with, I just moved my die, here it is, this big die. So see how the dies cut the designer paper too. So we're gonna, I've cut out one of these for you, and this will get cut in half, and I'll show you that. Okay, moving on. And we've got the back side. We're going to use this whole piece, which my friend Debbie showed me how to use this piece because I'm like, oh man, that is bright. The back side, this beautiful smaller print one. I love that. And this one we used on an envelope. And this one I believe we used on an envelope too. And we used this piece on one of the cards. So we used a lot of the paper in this suite, which is great because the paper is really the star of the show. Okay, so let me put that away. I'm just trying to make myself enough room so that I don't have a craft-a-lange. Okay, so now let's get going here to make our card. There is a couple, what the trick is to this is, oh, I forgot one stamp. I think it says, just for you. Let me grab that. And I also, whoops. Oh, my stamps are, I'm prepping for 3 different events. So my stuff is kind of all over the place. And I also need my cherry cobbler because this one's cherry cobbler and the other one is red. Okay. All right. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put this down on my cherry cobbler. Normally I would say stamp first, but if we have any mess up, we will cover it up with another label because so remember when you go to fold your paper, you're going to have an extra little edge. So the best thing to do is fold it back so you can see all the way around because you want to have that a nice edging on all 4 sides. Okay. So there's my base. Now I'm going to stamp my words. Actually, I'm not doing that yet. Let me do my sponge daubing. So for this, I used Old Olive, which I have right here. Oh my goodness, I got all in a tither because of not quite being ready. Oh my gosh, that dauber has disintegrated. Let me grab a new one. So the maintenance man came in and cleaned my office while I was at work today. And I had to get down on my hands and knees and get under my desk to pick up some of my extra doodads before it got vacuumed up. And just in case you don't know, the maintenance man is my husband. He's the one that made a joke about it, and I said, that's funny. It's sorely needed vacuuming. All right, so let me just get out a sponge topper. This one looks good. This needed something with green on it. Actually, this one here also looks good. We'll put that one out. Okay. It's kind of like the blending brush. You can't go wrong. Um, so, so a little dauber or a sponge or whatever you have handy. So you're going to pick up the ink. Now, where it's embossed, it's going to really grab that ink as you swirl around. Isn't that pretty? And the reason I didn't want my blending brush is I didn't want it to go too too crazy on the outsides. I wanted it to, look like a wreath. So I wanted it to keep the circular shape. So tonight I'm going to pick up, I'm going to meet with the lady who picked up my backstage items. I'm going to meet her at the bus station as she comes back from Logan. And so I can get my backstage stuff. And I've already seen the bag, and it's really great. A perfectly useful canvas bag with some beautiful color designs on it. Very, very fortunate that I found somebody in New Hampshire to help me out to get that. And I'll have my swaps. So next week, I will have swaps to show everybody. See how I got that? I kind of got a dot right there. Luckily, that will get covered up. But when you're daubing, just be careful that you don't um, come down smack dab, like pushing on it. Keep it light. We used to have, well, maybe we still have some pastel chalks, and this is a really great technique to do with them. And then they kind of moved away with it, and they brought some back for a little bit, but I don't know if we still got them. Okay, doesn't that look great? Could be a little darker right here, so let me just swirl a little darker right there. So wherever it is raised, it's really grabbing that ink. And that is just the look I was looking for. Right. So that's good. So my wreath is made. I wish I could make a wreath that fast in real life, though, huh? That Cindy can. Cindy is like, makes beautiful wreaths. Okay, so there's that. Let me set that aside for a minute, and then I'm going to stamp my Merry Christmas. And this is 2 stamps. So I've put them together so they'll fit on there. But if you're not comfortable with that, then you can stamp one at a time. Just making sure I got plenty of ink. Make sure I'm on the right side of my circle. Can I tell you how many times that's happened? Okay, and then right in the circle. Yay, yay. Okay, this card's coming together once I got all my act together, huh? All right. So now I'm going to adhere this in the center, like so. All right, now here's the trick. So we've got this piece here, but what I want to do is I really want that circle to end in the center of the wreath so that, you know, you can display the card and the wreath will still show and it will look like that's the center. So, but be careful because it can't go past the edge. So that's what I used to line it up. I brought that right to the edge, the circle. And then when you open it, it's still, I'm gonna just press my luck a smidge past the edge. There, okay? Oops, I just moved it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some liquid adhesive for that. And you really got to be careful because you can't have it go past this edge here by much. See, that would not fit in the envelope if you went that far. I'm going to just do like a little teeny tiny bit. Like so. It's almost there. So now I see my finger is where I can't have any glue. So I'm going to put my glue right there. Okay. I might have dabbed into the glue. I hope I didn't, but I might have. Okay, so we'll let that sit for just a minute. I'm going to put my block down on top of it to help hold the glued piece. Put this back on. And then I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. So I need some baby dimensionals here. And that, my scissors are right here. I don't know how things move when they're right here. When you go live, it's like there's a gremlin. I have my greenhouse and I went out there today and something has eaten my radish leaves and then bit into one of the radishes that was kind of poking out of the ground. And it must not have liked it because it left it. I don't want to put any down there. They have to pay attention. But I was like, so I put cayenne pepper all around inside my greenhouse, around the plants and the edging. And before I could get out of there, man, I was coughing and I went, that was probably a nutty thing to do. Okay, so I've got that, and I'm going to put my bow on just like that. Okay, and I got a little tiny bit of glue right there, but when that dries, I can just use my adhesive eraser. So you don't want to have, if you have any little bit of glue, you want to make sure that's off. Okay, so here we are for the inside of the card. I need to do my words. And just, wouldn't you know that this stamp fits right under the circle? So it's a hidden message until you open the card. And to use my cherry cobbler for that. Let's make sure that has ink. I had to do some serious re-inking on some of my pads. There. And then what we're going to do is take the little leaf, which I forgot to get out, this little leaf here, and we're going to just decorate both our envelope and the corner of our card because we really don't want to take away from the wreath after doing all that hard work. Okay, so we're going to stamp it and stamp again. One of my favorite things to do, stamp it and stamp again, just like so. And then my envelope, going to do that, whoops, and that. And why not for the front, right? There. Okay, and then the last thing to do, we need to embellish with some gems. And I'm going to use my marker, my Stamp and Write marker. You can also use a thin Sharpie to color these little dots. Now I've already gone over them with the green, but that's okay because I can just come in and color with the red. It's black right now, but that's because it's cherry cobbler and that's a dark color. My downline gets the tutorials for these card classes for free, and they will be, I will have a section in my team Facebook page for the file, and you can just go in and download it. this tutorial isn't quite done. I have one more little section to do, and then it will be ready to rock and roll. Okay, so that's one thing. And then for the final little glitz and glam, I, with this package of, oh, I had them already. With this package of cards, you have, your gems will be inside as well, because we didn't go too over the top with the gems. Just a little dab will do you. There's that. And let's see here. Put one, this is where it's good to put it where the glue was, right? Or if you missed any spots. There. And this is card number 1. I think it's gorgeous. I hope you like it too. Okay. The other way to color the dots is with a color pencil, if you didn't have any markers. And let me put those up there because I'll probably need them again. And clean off my stamps because I actually made these cards a couple of weeks ago. So that's why I'm like, wait a minute, how do I do this? Okay. Oh, thanks, you guys. Thanks for saying um, that you like that card. Yes, Stephanie brought up a point that of using that embossing folder. The embossing folder is so big, and it's 6 by 6, and the whole wreath takes up that 6 by 6. So it is a little bit tricky to find a way to use it if you're not making a 6 by 6 card. So I thought that was a good way to do it. Okay, so here's my card number 2. Let me tuck my cheat sheet away. So here's this card here. Now this one here has this green layer is embossed with the traditional leaves folder, and then you've got some die cuts. So let's take a peek at what I put in the envelope, because it was a while ago. I don't remember. Okay. So everything that you need is in here. This is the flap. This is for your envelope flap. And this will be to decorate your inside. And then you've got a Mossy Meadow hard base. Here's that little doodad. So maybe I didn't put them together for you. I just did it for that. Now that I think about it. So when you get this package, you have to watch out for the little piece of the bow. All right, so here's a piece of gold. So let's talk about this for a minute. Actually, let me get out the rest of the stuff. And sorry, I'm not using that side. I'm using this side. That pretty side I'm covering up. Okay, so let me go ahead and put this down so I can get a couple pieces out of the way. Sorry, pretty, but we'll use you on the envelope. All right, so I've got that piece layered right on the Mossy Meadow. This is Secret Sea. It's one of the patterns in there. All right, and next we have a piece of gold that's 3 by 5 1/4. So that's going to come right to the edge of my Secret Sea designer paper, because that was also 5 1/4. But notice what I did. I cut my bow out of the center. I could have cut 2 bows. This is like, well, it's like gold, right? It's it's a little bit more expensive than regular cardstock. So, and it's precious. So you gotta like use some paper saving methods with that. And then see my embossed layer is going to, you can see that embossing there. It's going to cover that hole right up and nobody will ever be the wiser. So let me go ahead and tack this down. And you'll see I did another, our last card also uses the same paper saving method on a different card. Now with the gold, you have to be careful because every little indent will scratch your gold piece. So see, I just did something right there. See that little dent? So when you're embossing, be careful. And when you are gluing, if you get any glue on your gold, you cannot use that adhesive eraser to get rid of it. It's there. You're better off just putting a gem over it, because if you try to wipe that off, you are going to leave a mess. Okay, so see, I hid that, and I even hid the little dent down in the corner. All right, so now I've got that's my emergent, that's my backup in case I mess up. Oh, I put two of them in here. I think I put two of them in everybody's because it was a little hard to line that up. Okay, so then you're going to get this piece for the poinsettia. And yep, you're going to just chop that. So sorry. And then you're going to put it so that, spread it out so it goes towards the corner. And this section here is going to be covered. So you don't want to spread it so much. So do a little dry fitting like that, like that. And I did not pop the flowers up. I only popped the label up. So let's go ahead and use some good adhesive, and I'm going to leave my little dry fit there so I remember to make sure it's all under. All right, and then let's bring this back, and then it's going to go like that, and this can go like so. Whoops, almost not inside the card. Let's move it over a little bit. Okay, just like that. So I did, instead of, I covered that gold and then I cut this design in half to spread it because we're playing a little hide and seek here with our doodads. All right, so before I do anything else, yes, the oval dies are from the traditional labels dies. Let me show you those dies here in just a second. I wanna glue my bow so it can be drying. I'm just gonna get out my gluing mat so we don't have any mishaps. Well, we might still, who knows. With me, anything can happen. Okay, so I am putting some glue, a dab will do ya, right there. And then I'm going to use my take your pick tool and pick up my bow. And bring it down. So the glue lets you have the wiggle room to put it in the right place, since you kind of want it to look like a real bow. Isn't that striking? Then I'm going to put a tiny, tiny dot of glue. Should be using my skinny bottle. And then use your putty tip again to pick that gold. See how small that is? It's like a sequin. Well, hello, Debbie Frank. Hello. And Christina, thank you for coming in. Yeah, I don't know if I said hi to you, but hi. And I know my mom's watching. Hi, Mom. And my friend Becky's watching too. So, hello, hello. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry. I'm just gonna push that over there. Okay, so now let's try to do this. Oh, I wanted to show you the dies real quick. Real quick. So these traditional labels, I really like this set. I loved last year's Christmas label set. I was so sad they didn't keep it, but then they came out with another really nice one. And these labels are really versatile. You'll have one that's curvy, and the rest are all, you know, natural shape, nice shapes. I mean, big enough to put any of your sentiments in. So if you don't have this stamp set, you're going to get the piece. So stamp whatever greeting you have that will fit. All right, let's see if I can do this merry and bright. I really, I did struggle a little bit because I was trying to do them both at the same time, like on the same block. And I just didn't need to do that. All right. So what I'm going to do is do the and bright part first. Let me make sure I got a good image. Oh, I got my re-inker in for my secret C today. So, but I don't want to re-ink it right before I stamp on this. So we will go with however it looks. Actually, I know how I can make that a little darker. Okay, so I had a little secret C spot in one from one of my kits, and I just went over that. There. Okay, so now I'm going to put that, kind of in the center. Yay. Can I just say yay? And then the Mary's going to go right over it. So trying to put them on the block at the same time, I think there's too much extra photopolymer that gets them in the way and they can't quite. And the other thing is, put them on your block, um, like not on the block straight like that. Tip them, because then you have more visual area because the handles of the block are not distorting your image. So that's kind of a little tip I found. And there we go. This is when you love having a photopolymer. Oh my gosh, you guys, play the trumpet. Look at that. All right, what did I stamp on the inside? I stamped Happy Christmas on the inside. So I have to peel off my Merry Christmas and let's put Happy Christmas. Keep opening the box and the stamp set is not in there because the stamp set is in my other project bin. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's right here after all. Yes, it is. I was just fooling you guys. Okay, so I need the word happy. I love to say Happy Christmas. And it's very Harry Pottery because Hermione always used to say Happy Christmas, Harry. I'm a Harry Potter fan. We'll put that there for safekeeping. You just make sure I got that right off. I washed my my chamois the other day, and let me tell you, they were bad. They were so bad. It took probably 5 minutes of running the water under the sink to get all the red off. Okay, I'm going to just do my Christmas first. And again, I'm going to use my little spot to darken that up. Wait to re-ink my re-inker. Okay, so in this kit, you also get this little strip here. I like to use these because it's a paper saving method when you have your 12 by 12, but just put that as a dry fit. Don't attach it in case you have to flip your card over, but this gives you a new center. So you want your greeting over here. It's my Christmas. All right, I'm going to do the same thing now. Happy is on a curve, and that's okay, but I just put it on the angle on my block. Tap, tap, tap. I just darkened that ink up with that spot. Okay, so let's see here. How about right there? I love it. Okay. Now, I'm not getting too cocky about that just because I got two good stamps, because I still got another card to do, and anything can happen. That backyard stamper. All right. Oops. So next week I have my December class all ready to go as well. So next Thursday I'm going to show my December class, and sometime during the week I'm going to do a second video that shows off the swap cards. I can't wait. Okay, so there we go with my little happy Christmas. Now we're back to this. So now I'm going to tape my center down, and then I'm going to use dimensionals to pop this up. Gotta have a little pop, you know? So let's do that and that. Yes, Debbie's reminding people to give me a thumbs up. That really helps. And sharing my video also helps. Okay, so we'll put that right there. See, you can't even tell that I cut that poinsettia in half. And that's what we were going for. So let me see here. Did I just glue that down or did I pop that up? I put dimensionals on here. So let's do that. I am going to use like a little strippy here. Just watch that it doesn't go past, you know. This one's going to be too big. Chop, chop. There. So I have my dimensionals strategically placed behind the bow. And that little one here is going to show. So I'm going to get my scissors in there and chop, chop. There. Little tiny haircut. My mom got her hair done today, and I can't wait to see it. I didn't even know she was going. She snuck that one in. We've got her hair permed and cut, so I can't wait to see. There we go. Card number 2. And then let's do the envelope flap. What did I do with that piece? That was right here. Here it is. It's upside down. That's why I couldn't see it. Okay. So I'm using, these are not Stampin' Up! Envelopes. I'm sorry. I ran out of envelopes and I got these, but what I like about these is the 2-inch strip fits on them. The Stampin' Up! Envelopes are 2¼ inch as they come around, so you end up having to trim off. So I like to use the liquid glue when I am doing an envelope flap. Liking and sharing, Debbie. All right, so I don't see Susie on here. I don't know if she's watching it without being signed in, but if you want to send her a quick link, Deb, that would be great. All right, so I took my paper right up to the line, and with the glue, you have a little bit of wiggle room to get it right up there. And then you just careful you don't have too much glue oozing out all over, including on your fingers. And then you're just going to flip it over and trim. I think I started doing the envelope flaps in my in-person classes, and everybody loved them. So it's like now we're on that, and that's another great way to use up your designer paper. There. So now my envelope flap's done and my card. I love it. So that was card number 2. And then for my third card, this is like really glamorous. So this card was, we did a mystery stamping for our team, and we used this cut and shuffle type method. And then Debbie used this paper here, and this is one of my least favorite prints in this, and it's Debbie's favorite print. So I think that's funny. But anyways, then I opened my paper pumpkin, and the paper pumpkin has this joy. Oh no, it has a stamp joy. So my first attempt was this, and I fussy cut the joy just to give me an idea if I liked the card to do for this. But then I ordered the add-on for the paper pumpkin. So when you're a paper pumpkin subscriber, you have the choice to get these little add-ons. And I have not bought one yet, but until now, this is my first one because I like the tag. The tag is so versatile, and I love this joy. And the stamp set in this month's paper pumpkin was fantastic. It's got beautiful sayings, nice big Merry Christmas. Put that. Nice big Merry Christmas. Here's the joy, deck the halls, a star, and some snowflakes. And then over here, it was to the world. So guess what I did? Joy to the world. There you go. So again, you're going to get, I can't send you stamped images, but I can send you die cut images. So with this card kit, you're going to get the tag, the pine. These pieces will be cut, and I'm going to show you how I cut those. And you're going to get the bow, and you're going to get the little faux knot. So, yes, Debbie. So in my mystery stamping, I had my pattern, I flipped over the 2 smaller squares, but Debbie said it's too pretty. And it's also kind of, well, I didn't, the shape wasn't right. I mean, the pattern wasn't right for this elegant card. All right, let me put the paper pumpkin stuff away. All right, here we go. Oh, and I had this envelope print. This wasn't the same print, obviously, but it's got the poinsettias and it went well. So that's my sample right there. Whoops, I didn't need my backup one, so I'll tuck those away. Moved my secret C spot, which has come in very handy. All right. Make sure I don't have any ink on me. All right, so for this card, you're going to get everything you need in your envelope. This is my flap. Just double check it that you didn't have any bling that fell out. I've got my white piece. I've got a pine bough, the joy, the label. Those are from the Paper Pumpkin add-on. And then my strips. And here's another paper saving tip. So this card has 2 long strips and 2 short ones. So you can cut um, for the add-on or the kit Stephanie is looking for, because the add-on is still available. Well, it's on my pants, Deb. Come on. So I'm gonna dry fit it like this, okay? So theoretically, I could cut out stuff under all of this because remember, this is like gold. Yeah, this the add-on is still available. So if you're not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, I can order one for you and send it down to you. Okay, so I had another sample here, and it was my mishmash one. So when I first did I was working on my sample, I had my gold and I'm cutting away, and I cut the wrong pattern. I cut the tag out. So, see what I'm saying? But that gave me the idea. Ooh, if I had any stitch shapes or anything like that, just remember you got to dry fit. Don't cut where it's you're going to show your hole, right? So this piece, that tag fits right over there, barely, but it does. And then this comes down and then this. So I was just showing you the paper saving. All right. So let me show you how I cut this. All right, let me just scooch these over. So you're going to start with a piece that is, and this is good for any kind of card um, using this method. Let me show you, know where my swaps went. Oh, here they are. So this is another one where I took the paper and just flipped it over. So you can use this um, cut and flip for any designer paper that you want. And it uses almost a quarter of a sheet. So, okay, so you have, this is 4 by 4 3/4. Then what you're going to do, and I accidentally did this ahead, you're going to cut a 1/2 inch off. So you're left with 3.5 by 4 3/4. Okay, so save that piece. Then you're going to scoot it over to 1 3/4 and cut it in half. Stack the two pieces and put them back in, and you're going to cut again at 1.5. Or I said 1.5, I mean 1 3/4. Don't cut at 1.5. 1 3/4. Okay, so this is what you end up with are your pieces. And you have this strip. This is going to be used on the inside. So that's the secret to this card. But these pieces will be cut for anybody that buys the kit. I just wanted to show you in case you want to reproduce this design. Okay. Stephanie, I'll do that for you. No problemo. You could also check with Kathy. I'm not sure if Kathy is a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, if you want to ask her, because I know you see her. Otherwise, I would be glad to do that. So this is real red. This paper has both um, cherry cobbler and real red in it. And I am going to put my joy upside down like that. Just in case I got a little close, it'll be underneath where my pine cones are going to go. And again, we're going to apply your adhesive strategically. I just want to make sure I cover my joy. And I'm going to move that out from under because that's how I got the crease the last time as I was on. Okay. See, I did. So don't, and there I got tape on there. What a mess I am making. Okay, we're going with it. So don't tape when you're applying your adhesive to your gold. Just make sure that there's nothing under it. Put that on crooked and okay. We're gonna concentrate now. All right. Oh, I think I got it. There. All right. Now I'm going to dry fit my pieces. Nobody will be able to tell that that was adhesive up in the corner or a dent down in this corner. You guys won't tell, will you? Oh, awesome stuff. So you can let me know if she is or not. And I am going to use my seal, but I um be careful that you really put them where you want because it's not like the liquid glue that you get a second chance on the gold. I'm not pressing down real hard when I set them down, just in case that I got to move for my margins. What I like about this too is it shows a healthy amount of the gold, right? So that I'm just getting, if you tape on your mat, it gives the cushion and the tape works so much better. Pretty, pretty, pretty. All right. Pretty straight, I think. So this is my envelope. I'm gonna get that guy out of the way. Okay, so now we've got our tag and our pine cone. Now I'm gonna send you guys a whole pine cone, not a pine cone, a pine bough, because you can do that if you want. But I mean, I don't want the fanny sticking out. So I'm going to do a little surgery here, and I want to try to get, a pine bough that looks like I didn't cut it off. So it looks like that, which is fine. For the bottom, it's going to go like that. And another one like this. I just noticed I cut that one out of Old Olive and this one out of Mossy Meadow. Well, I don't know which one I put in the kit. I'll have to double check. I hope it's the Mossy Meadow because I like that better. Okay, so that's where my pine boughs are going to go. So we can go ahead and attach those, and I am going to use my glue. Little dab will do ya. Okay, and like so. All right, so I've got my two branches down. Now for the fun part. Okay, well, we have to put I want to make sure I don't have any adhesive on my fingers. So for this one, you want to use your edge pieces because those are the right size. And they're a little big. They were almost the right size. So I'm going to put one there, and you could also use your foam adhesive strips, but I never remember to get those out. So um, the little dimensionals, baby dimensionals will work fine, and you don't even have to cut them. So I have that. I'm going to put that on my red tag. Oh, doesn't it look joyous? Sort of crooked. I think it's okay though. If it's crooked, what do you think? There. Doesn't it make you want to sing? Joy to the world. All right, here we go. Here's this little one now. So I tied this for you, okay? And what we're going to do, this ribbon is that sparkly red ribbon, and the gold thread was from Simply Elegant Trim. I think that was on our last chance last year. And of course, I bought a bunch of it in anticipation for this year. So all I'm doing is I'm going to pull that end through the hole of the tag, okay? So I'm backing the bow into the tag, like so. And then I am going to put a dimensional there. Oh, actually, I think I did just a little bit of tape or a glue dot. There, like so. Clever, huh? Then I kind of like my points going the same direction. I don't know about you guys. This one's a little shorter, so I'm going to cut this one. What do you think? Should I leave the points going the same direction or opposite? And then I have my this one here, and then I'm going to pop this whole thing up. Isn't that a great tip? So everybody will get this part tied for them, and they'll thread it through the hole just like this. I'm going to make a um, same direction stuff. Okay, so I need to cut this one this way. There, like so. Almost not on an angle though. Let's see if I can get that a little bit more of an angle. There. And then that's perfect because I got the little shorter one in the front. Doesn't that look pretty? Pretty, pretty. All right, let's put it on here. I liked it kind of on a slant because it hides if I got anything else crooked. All right, and then the last thing are some gems, which I did not get out yet. But what I think I'm going to do is rather than pick out a couple gems for, I am going to just send a whole strip, and then people can put on however many they want. So I'm just going to put some around. Not that we needed more red or gold, but the green didn't really match very well. So I like that. And then I've just recalled I need to do my inside. So now this strip here that we cut off is going to be too narrow, and that's okay. You can still use it that way if you like, or turn it this way. So I'm going to turn mine, and I like that little bunch there, so I want to make sure I get that in. And then I like to apply glue in, to my inside piece instead of the tape. And you know what? I forgot to stamp. Let me stamp because I can still rescue this if I need to. What did I do for the inside? Oh, I did it in red. Ready? Let's all sing. Joy to the world. Okay, so remember this sentiment came from the paper pumpkin. And I love this. Oops. Okay, like so. Oof. And let me put that on my chamois. Okay, so now I can continue on, continue on. And I also like to leave a little bit of this, a strip of white showing. You know, it just helps you. I don't know, I think it's more pleasing to the eye, but I don't do it all the time, but especially if I have a narrow strip, like this one's pretty narrow. So then I left it long in case people wanted to put it across the top. So apply our adhesive. Oh, that's right. Yes. Yep. Stephanie said if it's too short, I can always add a piece of cardstock and layer it, and then it will look like it was meant to be. All right, and these are so flat, you know what? We can put them inside. So that's what I'm gonna do. I am going to do just that. Let me see here. I think I'm gonna use a couple of the gold ones, you know, because I can. Joy to the world. Doesn't that look fun, you guys? Oh, I hope I get a card this pretty for the holidays. Okay, oh, envelope flap. All right, and then we'll recap and we will be out of here. So it's pretty good, just a little over an hour, but I also couldn't find something right at the beginning, of course. So, maybe. So what I don't make a clean video for my classes yet. Um, they can just watch this one, and if any of you guys know how to trim the video down, I would love to like fix the beginning. But it's like all that editing just takes a lot of time, and you know, this is like real life crafting here. So I would rather have a little bit of jibber jabber or can't find something at the beginning than spend lots of time that I don't have trying to make it perfect. All right, here is the cards in review. Move all this stuff out of the way, put my dies over here if I don't lose them. All right, so we've got joy. Oops, to the world. Merry and bright. And happy Christmas, Harry. And that was my sample. And my third card. I know it's here. Oh, there it is. There it is. My Z-fold wreath card. I came up with this all by myself too. I did not copy somebody, so I thought that was good. Hey, Becky, you made it on. Thank you for coming on. And we can even add like, you can add like a little dot. And I think I'm going to. You know why? Because it's my card. Oh, let's see here. My tool, my tool. I don't know where it went. Oops. And my red sequin just fell off too. All right. Oh, it was never there to begin with. Hold on. I love to use a gem for the eye. There. Merry Christmas. Just for you. So I hope you guys like this card class. Remember, anybody on my team will be able to receive the PDF tutorials for free. And if anybody is interested in purchasing, you can go to backyardstamper.com and go to my shop. And I will also, Debbie reminded me to put the link in the YouTube video down below. And so that is what I will do. So thank you all for coming along. And this is Crafting Your Happy Mail, because Happy Mail starts with a handmade card. And I believe that. I hope you do too. So I will be here on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. And I don't, I really don't know if I'm going to be doing a scrapbooking kit at this point. I am running so far behind on what I have left to do. I only have one more week to get everything done. And I also wanted to put together some of the new kits, like card kits. So I might do that um, on Sunday. We'll see. All right. We will see you later. And thank you for coming.